nigga finer than a mother. Damn, I knocked the dust off that.
Young out, you just knocked me off my feet.
Hi, Miss Parker.
Hi, boy.
We gonna let me Miss Parker?
What'd you say, honey?
Huh? Nothing.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? We're in our living room right now. Our actual living room where we watch movies.
Lots of movies.
I fall asleep on this couch watching movies.
Every time.
Sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes.
Every time.
But we watch.
I thought I was a bad movie watcher. This one falls asleep.
It's because I like to watch movies at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. She likes to watch movies at 10 or 11. I'm like, if the movie is not action, a lot going on, then I'm falling asleep. I'm falling. But speaking of movies, we just watched Friday. She just watched it for the
first time. So here's the thing.
Wait a second. I just need to apologize. I just need to apologize for all of my friends and family who are watching this, all the black people around the world. This movie was iconic. We know that. We know that. But you know what I'm trying to do is educate some folks on the importance of culture.
So here's my excuse. I
lived under a rock, an actual rock. But
I lived under a rock. I didn't watch any movies, hardly. I like to watch the same movie I've already seen. I like to know the ending. You can spoil things for me because I enjoy knowing. I feel like life, I don't know how life is gonna turn out, so I don't need that extra stress in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I wanna know what's going on.
But another thing is, you know, she's a 90s baby, I'm an 80s baby. So there might be some things that, you know, I mean, Friday, there's no excuse for that. Okay, we get that. But, you know, some things, you know, there's a little gap. And so we just saw that movie and we're just pretty much gonna, I guess, break it down.
Yeah.
Oh, and if you have any suggestions for other movies, let us know in the comments.
I guarantee if you name it, I haven't seen it.
Hey, okay, so here's the thing. Next one we'll do is Don't Be a Menace to South Central While Drinking Your Juice in the Hood. You think she saw it?
That's the name of the movie?
And we'll also watch Dead Presidents and some other things. Obviously, you know, she hasn't watched any of these things. Isn't that crazy?
I thought it was good. Well, I'm gonna be honest, I was a little nervous about the fact that they were promoting violence.
Oh my gosh.
But I did appreciate the message about putting the gun down. I thought that was really powerful. And I do acknowledge what it means culturally. You know, obviously, I didn't grow up in a neighborhood like that. I didn't grow up needing to fight.
So one of the things that she doesn't necessarily understand is in the 90s, there were a lot of things that aren't on TV nowadays. Like, have you ever watched Married with Children?
I have just about had enough of you.
Well, you wouldn't say that if I came with fries and a medium drink.
There are a lot of like shows that wouldn't make it on TV today. And there are a lot of things that it was the real. We kept it real. Now it's like, you know, you can't necessarily put anything on TV, which is why TV was so much funnier back then because we all could relate. It was the real world and movies were a lot funnier. And that movie launched so many careers. I loved it. I love watching it. I can watch it a million times and laugh and laugh.
I thought it was crazy that he didn't help his son fight. I was like, oh, he's getting beat up and everybody's just watching, including the mom. Okay.
You're not supposed to jump in. That's a one-on-one. That's the rule. It's a one-on-one. If somebody else jumps in, then we all jump in. But other than that, it's a one-on-one. So she doesn't know these rules.
Which I am not a mother yet, but I would assume as a mother, I'm like, oh my gosh, like he's getting beat up. But at the end of it, probably because he won, I don't know. But I could see how that was important for him.
Even if he would have got beat up and lost the fight, that would have been important for him. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. What are some of the things that we agreed on in the movie?
I think the message.
When I was growing up, this was all the protection we needed. You win some, you lose some.
I enjoyed the fact that this whole movie took place on one day. It's just a regular day in the neighborhood.
So she,
oh God.
an hour after the movie ended, she was like, the whole movie happened on a Friday. That's why it's called Friday. You ever heard the Ice Cube song? Today was a good day. No?
I'm the same way with music.
Oh my.
So I feel like this
gosh.
whole podcast is just to embarrass me.
No, I mean it's hey.
But you know what?
Jinx, go ahead, go.
I'm okay with it. That's my reality. Look, that I wasn't shown all of these movies either because I couldn't watch some of them, or I think I do remember my brothers watching Friday, so I was around, but I couldn't tell you what it was about before I watched it. So, I mean, that's just my life, you know. And I think it's kind of fun.
What are some of the things?
Because I get to see these things for the first time.
Yeah,
like,
I think it's good for me too, because I can sort of have a flashback, you know, back to the past, because all these movies that I saw, they're nostalgic a little bit, and to see someone watch it for the first time, it's like,
look how funny this is. Look how amazing this is.
Yeah,
Look at,
yeah.
And I loved watching it with you specifically, and your friend that was here, because you guys knew the movie so well. They were literally quoting it verbatim. But it was funny because I appreciated it more because you're like, look at those shots. That's a crazy shot, especially for in the 90s. Like, you
So
know,
I
they
think
were saying that it cost like $3 million to make.
$3 million to make, and it's nowadays you give people $3 million, they're like, that's not enough. I'm like, come on, bro. Look how they.
Right, or we could have shot that on an iPhone.
We have. No, I mean, the thing is, we have a lot of people just want to spend money, and we have more technology now to make things so much better. And what they were able to accomplish, all the shots, all the push-in shots, all the crane shots, and all the jib shots. If you don't know about all that, there's a lot that they did in that movie, and it was great. F. Gary Gray.
But it was really cool for me to appreciate the movie from your perspective and his perspective specifically, you know? I do understand the jokes are different from now. And I remember watching things like Fresh Prince or things where you have those kind of jokes that are a little bit would get canceled for now. But I kind of miss it, and I kind of appreciate.
What do you see as a difference between the shows?
Because that is real life.
What do you see as a difference between the shows that you're watching now, or the movies you're watching now, as opposed to a movie like Friday?
I think it's what I mentioned earlier about how it was just a regular day in the neighborhood. That's it. And it was so entertaining.
It was real, human stories.
Relatable.
Yeah.
It was so real, so authentic.
Smokey taking a dump on the side because he couldn't get in the house.
Even though that's disgusting.
Like, if I would have done that and I really have to go, like, it's coming out. You do a karate kick
He
in the
went
middle.
back to their house.
To
He
ask
was
to use the
just
restroom.
there.
Right.
Charles, can I use the bathroom, please?
Number 1 or number 2?
What you gonna do? Number 1, number 2.
Number 2.
Shit. You gonna drop those stinking
Ew,
low chips.
look at how he's eating.
If I drop a stinking low, it's gonna be me.
Honestly, okay, can I say something? After that moment, I was disturbed for the rest of the movie
Oh my
because he
gosh.
never washed his hands. He never wiped himself.
It's movies, man. You're not gonna, like, you know, whatever. Anyway.
And I was like, we're really okay with him just wandering around the entire neighborhood
And
like
then
this.
then he was smoking and passed the
That was
Anyway.
my least favorite part of the movie. Not the fact that he did it, the fact that he didn't wipe and wash his hands. I feel like movies are really cool these days, you know, and I'm also learning how to be a movie person, you know, being
I
with
love
somebody
movies.
who appreciates film. I'm learning the industry and understanding what it takes to create all these things. So I definitely have a new appreciation for it. But I will say, there is something to how simple Friday was, you know? And I think that even I felt a little bit nostalgic. Maybe I remember my brothers growing up watching some of these movies, or I remember, you know, that neighborhood has like, I was born in New York, you know, I didn't live there long, but I understand where my cousins and my family lives in New York. So it just kind of felt like, yeah, this is what life used to feel like, you know?
If you would you recommend it? Would you recommend the movie?
Yeah, I would recommend it. I think it's a great, I understand why it's a classic.
I feel like the whole world have seen it, unless you're like, you know, 94 and...
Honestly, I don't even think that's the excuse. It's just me.
If you haven't watched...
lived under a rock, then.
If you haven't watched the movie, go watch it. It's one of those movies, you know, like Pretty Woman.
I just saw that for the first time recently.
So we're not going to only watch movies that I've grown up watching. We're also going to watch movies that she liked to watch, which are, you know,
Yikes.
You'll see. We're going to watch those, and then you can come back. And if you have any suggestions for any of those movies, by the way, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and you know, ring the notification bell so that you know when we put out videos. And
be nice to me.
Listen, don't be nice. Like, tell her the real so that she can watch these movies. Right?
I've seen more movies in the last year and a half that I've been with him than I have my entire life.
And
think
you're
about that.
So much better for it. I think we all grow so much in life when we watch other people's stories.
Never been to the movie theater so many times in my life.